Hey everyone, thank you for coming back. Sorry for the delay between the last video and now. Things got a little hectic at my day job, and by the time everything got over and done with, I was way too tired to do anything other than veg out and play Bannerlord, so sorry. Alright, so here we go. It's the last step before you can get your Chronicle up and running for your very own city. You've put in a lot of work up to this point, but this part is probably going to be the most important, especially for your players. I'm not going to cover, the things you need to go through for the personal session zeros. That's a whole topic in and of itself, and we're not going to go into that right now. But long story short, do the personal session zeros, and then once you've gotten to know the characters and how things are going to mesh, then that is when you need to sit the group down together and have the group session zero and figure out, the group dynamics. Some other really important questions, though, that you need to figure out at this stage are, why is the Coterie together? Do they work for anyone in the city? And how do they get their domain? I personally don't like sticking to the archetypes presented in the V5 core book. I would much rather have the players just sit down and freeform it, use those as guidelines if people get stuck. But once you've got the coterie all figured out and meshed together, it's not a bad idea to maybe help steer things along so things stay where they need to be, so they don't lose sight of why they are a coterie in the first place. Alright, so now comes the really fun part. It's time to think of the domain the coterie is in control of and how it fits into the rest of the cityscape. If you haven't already taken some artistic license with your setting, now would be the perfect time to let the coterie off the leash and make up something completely out of thin air. They're the main stars, and you shouldn't be restricting them to stuff that is only in the city IRL. Going back to what I said about tropes, though, having the coterie own and control a club or a bar is great, and it does give some extra angles for the coterie to get hitched to the plot of the chronicle you're trying to run. But don't be afraid to encourage them to go off the beaten path a little bit. We kind of walked the middle road with that there, with Sioux City by Night, to where the players or the characters are in control of a entire, 10-story building, with the main floor being, a high-end whiskey bar, but then the upper floors are going to be apartments. This gives, the players, the public face to have, on the main floor, but then having the apartments, that helps diversify the coterie's income a little bit, and it also gives them the opportunity to feed in a pinch if they need it. So it's not just, oh, I own this, high-end industrial goth bar and, leaving it at that. No, the Windstone building is completely made up, and it walks that middle ground. Alright, well, that's it. You've been given all the information you need to really get your homebrew city up and running and get your coterie and your chronicle running. Now, someone in the comments on a previous video did mention there's two Chronicles of Darkness source books. There's Damnation City and then Block by Bloody Block. I would actually highly recommend checking out Damnation City. Even though it is, Chronicles of Darkness, so it's not, Vampire the Masquerade, it's Vampire the Requiem, there's still really good information to be had there. You just have to, do some conversion between Requiem to Masquerade for, the fluff to really work. But the information does jive with what we're trying to accomplish here. But thanks for watching the videos. Let me know how this goes for you. Definitely drop a comment and, let me know how your city, came along. I'd be really interested to hear, your stories. Don't be afraid to check us out on Facebook. Links down below in the description. Like, subscribe, favorite, etc. All the other usual YouTube pandering. But y'all stay groovy and happy gaming. Peace out.